The whisper of dust. The house stood silhouetted against a bruise-colored sky. An ugly Victorian widow with too many eyes. Everyone in town called it the Blackwood Place, and everyone knew to stay away. But tonight, a dare and 2 bottles of cheap courage had brought you shivering to its rotten porch. The front door, mercifully, wasn't locked. It sighed inward with a sound like dying breath, scraping against warped floorboards buried under a century of dust. The entrance hall. The air inside was not cold, but dead. It was a stagnant, heavy silence that pressed on your eardrums. Your flashlight beam cut a nervous swath through the darkness, illuminating a grand, curved staircase. The banister was carved with grinning faces, shrouded now in cobwebs that looked like tattered mourning veils. You took a tentative step onto the checkerboard tile. Thump! It wasn't your footfall. It was a heavy, dull sound from the floor above. You froze, heart hammering a frantic rhythm against your ribs. Wind. Just the wind. You knew you were lying to yourself. There were no open windows here, the parlor. You slipped into the room on the right, parlor. It was a tableau of decay. Furniture draped in white sheets, resembling a ghostly congregation waiting for a sermon of oblivion. The air here was thick with the faint, sweet scent of dried flowers and something else. Something metallic, like old pennies. You shone the light onto a mantelpiece. A single photograph sat there, unfaded. It was a family, mother, father, and a small child with eyes too large and dark for her face. Her smile was chillingly serene. As you moved the beam away, you heard it. A distinct, wet sniff right behind the sheet drape so close. You wheeled around, flashlight shaking. Nothing. Just the sheets. You swallowed hard, backing out of the room. I should leave now, the ascent. The staircase loomed. You had to go up. The dare demanded it, but more than that, a paralyzing, morbid curiosity had taken root. The first step creaked. The second did not. On the third, you felt a slight, almost imperceptible tug on the hem of your coat, as if a small, cold hand had reached out from the gloom beneath the stairs. You bolted up the remaining steps, 2 at a time, landing breathless on the landing, the hallway. The upstairs hallway was long and narrow, lined with closed doors like secrets locked away. A faint humming sound was emanating from the very last door on the right. As you crept toward it, you passed a tall, gilt-edged mirror on the wall. You paused, shining your light into it. You saw your own terrified face, pale and sweaty, framed by the darkness. But just as you started to turn away, you saw a movement in the reflection. A flicker of something standing directly behind you. Tall and thin, draped in the darkness you thought was empty space. It was not a reflection of a physical thing, but a distortion, a shadow that possessed mass. You spun around, flashlight beam sweeping frantically. Nothing. The nursery. The humming had stopped. You reached the final door. Hesitantly, you pushed it open. The room was a nursery. A rocking horse stood frozen in place. A child's tea set was scattered on a low table. In the center of the room sat a crib. The light fell upon the blanket inside. It wasn't empty. There was a shape beneath the quilted material, small and still. Your breath hitched, slowly, reluctantly. You reached out and pulled back the blanket. There was no body, only a single porcelain doll. Its button eyes stared up at you, unblinking. Its painted smile stretched wide and unsettling. As you watched, mesmerized by its cold, empty stare,